Welcome back to the Time Capsule Podcast, where your family history becomes your greatest legacy. I'm your host, Barbara Beauregard, and today we're going to talk about a feeling every genealogist has experienced at least once, and usually more than once, the feeling of being overwhelmed, not the this is a little messy kind of overwhelm. I'm talking about the deep, heavy, where do I even start overwhelm that comes from years of collecting documents, saving notes, scanning photos, downloading records, and storing things in folders you forgot existed. You may have paper files in boxes, digital files in multiple places, photos scattered across your phone, your computer, and maybe still in drawers. Research notes spread across notebooks, post-its, scraps of paper, and the back of an envelope you swear you'll find again someday. When you look at all of it together, the idea of getting organized can feel so big, so vague, and so intimidating that it's easier to avoid it completely. But here's the truth. You do not have to organize everything. You only need to organize what helps you move forward right now. Today, I want to offer you 3 simple, gentle strategies to organize your genealogy without pressure, without perfection, and without trying to fix your entire collection at once. Let's begin. A lot of genealogy overwhelm comes from thinking we have to get everything sorted before we can keep researching, but that's not how genealogy works. Genealogy isn't a perfectly organized library. It's an ongoing project, a living, changing collection, a puzzle that grows as you grow. So instead of looking at the whole mountain, I want you to start with something much smaller, something manageable. The first strategy is to focus on active projects. Imagine spreading all your genealogy across a table. What you're working on right now, your active project, is only a tiny portion of that table. The rest of it can wait. Choose 1 or 2 research questions or family lines you're currently working on. Maybe you're exploring your grandmother's mother's family. Maybe you're trying to solve a mystery on your father's side. Maybe you're gathering documents for a family history book. Whatever the project is, create a dedicated space for it. On your computer, create a digital folder with the project name. If you like working with paper, create a physical folder too. Then, and this is the important part, when you come across something related to that project, put it in that one place. A screenshot, a census record, a photo, a research note, a letter you found in a drawer. Everything for that project goes into that home. You're not organizing your entire genealogy. You're creating a little workbench, clear, simple, and ready for progress. And that alone can reduce overwhelm dramatically. The second strategy is something I call the one decision rule. Here's how it works. Every time you touch a piece of genealogy information, make one small organizing decision. You don't have to make it perfect. You don't have to finish organizing it. You don't have to create a whole system, just one decision. If you open a document, rename it. If you see a photo, add a date or a caption. If you find a note, file it with the correct surname. If you download something, move it into the right folder as soon as you save it. If you see a memory on your phone, label it. One decision, one improvement. This turns organization into a habit instead of a project. Little by little, those single decisions build order. And the best part? You never feel behind because everything you do is a tiny step forward. The one decision rule ensures that the more you research, the more organized you become, automatically, almost accidentally. The third strategy is to choose a simple, repeatable structure. Many people wait for the perfect organizational system before they begin, but there is no perfect system. Every genealogist organizes a little differently. Every family looks different. Every research path is unique. What matters most is this: choose a structure you can stick with, and use it long enough that it becomes familiar. Here's a simple example. Start with a main folder called Family History. Inside that folder, create a folder for each surname or family branch. Inside each surname folder, create subfolders like Photos, Documents, Stories, DNA, Research. Or, if your brain prefers to organize by type, start with type folders, Photos, Documents, Research, DNA. And inside each of those, create surname folders. Neither way is right or wrong, both work. What matters is that it feels natural to you. And once you choose a structure, commit to trying it consistently for a while before you decide to adjust anything. Organization is not a finish line, it's a rhythm you create over time. And now, I want to leave you with your action step for today. Choose one active project in your genealogy, one family line, one research question, one branch you're focusing on. Then create one dedicated folder for it, digital or physical, whichever you use most, and then move 3 related items into that folder. Just 3. That's all you need to do today. One project, one folder, 3 items. This tiny step gives your brain a sense of clarity, order, and progress, without the pressure of fixing your entire collection. And when you do this a few times a week, something wonderful happens. Your genealogy becomes a little easier, a little clearer, a little more manageable. You begin to feel less overwhelmed and more in control. Remember, you do not have to be perfectly organized to make real progress. You simply have to give your current and future self the gift of a little more clarity than you had yesterday. Thank you for listening to the Time Capsule Podcast. For free guides, mini webinars, and legacy tools, visit ancestryseeking.com. Your legacy begins today.